I like smells. Ducks reek. If you get too close to a duck, you'll know what I mean. Whew, they stink. All right, here goes. This is the show. Stand back, everyone. The explosion is real. There are film sack channels in the Discord. Oh, yeah, that's true. Sorry, I saw that and I thought you were talking to me, Jeannie. My bad. All right, here we go. Is it recording? It is. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
I'm 33. I'm an entrepreneurial attorney, and I'm currently involved in cleaning up toxic waste. I consider myself a new age person, but I don't like channeling or faith healing. I like an attractive woman, someone who might look like Christy Brinkley or Jacqueline Smith, who's health conscious, and also at home barefoot in blue jeans or in an evening dress.
Look at this. Bar soap.
This is the morning stream. No butt touching.
Morning, everybody. Welcome back to TMS, or to it for the first time. I don't know. Hey, it's Tuesday, December 28th, 2021. It is nearly the end of this dumb year. And I'm Scott Johnson, and that's Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian. Good morning.
Yes. Hello. How are you?
Fine. I'm all right. My back hurts. You know, here's the problem with throwing your back out a couple of weeks ago, or whatever it's been now, 3 weeks. Generally on the mend, but still little twinges here and there. And sometimes you sleep on it wrong, and then you get up, and it's like, oh, that hurts all day. So right now I'm just like a little, and that means I got to sit in the dental chair later while they put my crown back on with my back hurting.
With your back hurting. They can adjust that dental chair to where you're like comfortable, right? Like you can say, listen, I'm having some back problems. Could you make this part a little higher, make this other part a little bit lower, sort of thing?
The girl will go, you make this a little higher, make that a little lower, she'll say, and then she'll walk out of the room. Just kidding, they're nice.
What,
they're
does
nice.
Tina work for your dentist office?
She's been working on the side. You wonder why her commute's so long.
I know she's gone for days at a time. I didn't realize that was a lie. Wow.
Weird how that works out. But yeah, I don't know. I may ask him if there's a way, because those are uncomfortable, and my legs hang off of them because I'm tall. So yeah, looking forward to that. That'll be real fun. Plus it snowed last night real hard. We got ice everywhere. It's like 13 degrees today. Everything's bad on the freeway. So I don't even know how that's going to go.
They're saying there's a chance we might get snow Friday is the current state of things.
All right.
We've had one little dinky teeny weeny snowfall, which was gone the next day. And it's all on the other side of the mountains and in the mountains. Skiing right now, fantastic.
Yeah, never been
better. Everything outside the mountains for us, dry as a bone.
Yeah, if you ski, now's the time.
Yeah.
Get up there.
Right.
Make it happen.
Right.
Get your chains on, or however you get your vehicle, up there, and get her done. Anyway, so I gotta tell you what happened. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, let's do it. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off, Scott.
All right. The last movie I saw in a movie theater before the pandemic was October or so of 2019. It was toward the end of the year.
Wow. So it wasn't even like close to the beginning of 2020. It was like late, mid-late 2019.
Already not like a super constant regular movie theater kind of guy at this stage.
You're not Scott Johnson moviegoer. That title is held by yours truly.
Yes, that's correct. I love movies, but I watch most of them at home.
Yeah.
And that wasn't always true. There was a time in my life where I might see a movie once or twice a week, in fact, but doesn't happen anymore. Anyway, so it's been a while. That movie, by the way, was Sonic, the movie. Sonic.
Prior to yesterday, the last movie you saw in theaters was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, we're almost sequel time for that thing.
I would have given up theaters as well.
It was all right. For what it was, it was all right.
I know. You know what? I never saw it, so I shouldn't bitch about it.
For a video game movie, it's probably the best video game movie made, but you know how low that bar is. So,
yes.
It was okay. But anyway, so, I'm kind of okay with this. And when the pandemic hit, I'm like, well, I don't need to go in there for a while. And honestly, nothing's really gotten me too jazzed to go to a theater until Spider-Man. And I thought, well, you know what? If I'm going to do it, let's do it with that. All right, and I'm going to pick a time of day where I know there are going to be less people, and it's going to be just less of a hassle. And we'll just go in there, and I'll take my friend Darren. I'll pay for his ticket and call it his Christmas gift, and kill a couple of birds, one stone kind of deal. And so we brought Darren, his wife, and Kim went with us as well. And we had this movie thing at 3:30 yesterday. All right.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. Early, like
So far, so
a
good.
weekday.
Yeah,
People are. Some people are working.
Yeah. A little less on the price of the ticket, all that stuff, just kind of hedging our bets. And it hadn't snowed yet. That would happen during the movie. And it was gnarly. So anyway, we go there and we get to the theater and I realize, things have changed here. I haven't been. This is the District Megaplex, which is right down the street from us. We've been to multiple Nerdtaculars there. That was a really nice theater in the day. Okay.
And this is a AMC or Regal or
no local owned joint.
Right. It's the car dealership dude ownership.
Yeah, old Larry Miller, who died some years ago.
Larry Miller. Yeah.
It was his jam. And anyway, so there's like 6 or 7 of these across the valley or something, and they've always been known for being, at least in the late 90s, they were a big deal because they were the first to bring reserved seating. They were the first to bring get all kind of food.
Court.
Yeah, all that stuff, right? Like they were big. They were a big deal when they happened because nobody else was doing this. And it kind of forced everybody else in the valley, including the AMC and Cinemarks and all them, to kind of follow suit. And now they're all kind of like that. Well, anyway, this place has deteriorated bad during the pandemic. Like, really bad. I was just there in 2019, and it was fine. I go in there now. Now, some of it is expected. Like, it used to be 2 giant walls full of food courty food. And as soon as you walk in, there's like these big places where you got a whole variety. Here's Mexican, here's burgers, here's blah, 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 blah. And it's all just available to whoever. Yeah. And now one side is completely blocked off. And it's nothing but Minion art over there for some reason. I don't know why.
Because it's cheap.
I guess. They still had that Minion art from a couple of years ago.
Little freebies from the closed down Party City next to the Spirit Halloween store. Yeah.
That is how it felt, yeah. So I walked in and went, okay, well, that's fine. And so that also means a lot of the seating, the kind of cafeteria style seating is gone. There's some, but it's not nearly what it used to be. And it's not giant. It's not super packed or anything. There's people there, but it's not super packed. I thought they would have some kind of, I don't know what the policy is. I just assume there'd be some sort of mask policy, distancing policy, whatever. There's not at all.
Really? Oh my God. Yeah. You, the AMC theater that Tina and I go to, it's on the door in the front. We've heard the employees say, you got to pull your mask up, sir, to people walking by us and stuff. Now that changes once the lights go down in the theater, but they don't. But in the lobby and everything, they are strict about.
Now that's funny because here there are signs that say these things.
Yeah.
But nobody's enforcing anything, and that includes the employees. Now the only employees I saw were about 5 teenagers who were all working popcorn stands. I could go into detail about the popcorn place. But anyway, popcorn stands, most of them had their masks, and I'm not kidding when I say this, on their forehead. They were up here.
Okay.
Yeah, up on their forehead.
Which is almost like the FU of, it's not even like under their chin or anything like that. They're just saying, no. I'm wearing my mask, boss. You told me to wear a mask. I'm wearing it.
It's one thing to have it below your nose or something, whatever. I get it. But they're up on their foreheads, like, I don't know, stopping the popcorn sweats they're having. I don't know what's happening. So this is the first visual I get. And here's the other thing I notice. Nobody's a manager. There's nothing. There's nobody in. There's no adults in this place. I mean, literally, it's Lord of the Flies in there. At some point, they're all paint their faces and pick who's going to kill Piggy.
Thunderdome.
Yeah. Like, it's really, really, like, very Thunderdome. And popcorn everywhere. And I don't just mean, sometimes if it's busy, you expect to see some on the counter and, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Dude, the place may as well be carpeted in popcorn. Popcorn everywhere. Everything's layered. Everything was greasy everywhere, like oil. They ran out of buckets. I don't know when, maybe days ago. So now they're giving you these. They have these white paper bags that are like lunch bags, but a little taller.
Yeah.
Just white
Oh,
plain
I'm
ones.
sure those are nice and quiet.
Oh my Lord. Well, not only that, but they dump the popcorn in, and the oil or the butter just bleeds through all sides of the thing.
Right. So you put this thing in your lap, and all of a sudden you've got, your lap is as transparent as that paper bag.
Oh, it was a nightmare. We couldn't, we got popcorn because it came with the tickets, and I'm like, I kind of regret getting this. I'd rather just not have the popcorn, but we did, and fine, whatever. We were in this line forever. Nobody in the line is practicing any kind of safe anything, except for one little family I saw who just seemed horrified by everything they were looking at. And I'm kind of just like, this is not, the vibe here is just bad. It's just bad. Now, we're not even in the theater yet. We haven't even passed the dude where we give him the ticket yet. So, fine, whatever. Maybe the front end of this place is just poorly managed. Whatever. Sure. It's a bad day. We're in between holidays. Who knows? I don't know. And I'm not judging these people. Whatever. They, whatever. We go to the guy.
I think you. Oh, you mean judging the? You can judge the staff.
I can totally judge the staff. But my point is, once I get this popcorn, I'm in the thing and I'm done. I know what that's like because I've been there 1,000 times. I'm sure it's fine in there. Get up to the ticket dude, and it's this curly-haired, once again, some 15-year-old kid, maybe 16. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And he says, tickets, can I see your tickets? And Kim goes, all right, here you go. And now what she did is she went there earlier in the day. They have these kiosks, and you buy your tickets on the kiosks if you want to ahead of time. And on the kiosk, you put in your credit card, and you say your info, and you pick your seats on the screen, and then it poops out your tickets. Well, this time and she thought, this is consolidated. It only poops out one little card these days. It used to poop out a bunch of coupons, your 3 tickets, plus some, popcorn ticket and all this other thing. Now it just poops out the one, and it does say 4 seats, says the seat numbers, and says popcorn, 1 free popcorn or something on it.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay.
So we get up to the guy, and he goes, ticket. And he goes, tickets. And I'm like, oh, well, there's only a ticket, but whatever. We hand him the ticket, and he goes, oh, you got to go get in line to get this food.
Oh, my God.
And we went, I'm sorry, what? And he goes, yeah, you got to be in line to get the food. And we said, well, no, this is the food. We have the popcorn.
Yeah, we're holding the popcorn in our hands.
Yeah, in this terrible freaking 1-ply garbage bag. And he says, well, yeah, but that's all this ticket is for that. And I said, well, what do you mean? It's all the machine gave us. It shit out that, and that's what it gave us. That's what it is. And he says, oh, no, this is not. Oh. And he's starting to panic. And I'm like, just let us in, dude. And he did. He finally just capitulated and went, it was probably more trouble for him to find an adult in that building. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So he lets us in, tears a little corner as if it mattered. We go in, we get our seats. The seats are all covered in a thin layer of grease. Just buttery grease. And the floor, just popcorn everywhere. I don't know the last time anybody picked up any. I mean, it's been a while. I mean, it was all Fury Road without the good. It was the worst parts.
This place hasn't been cleaned since Sonic.
Yeah. No, it's how it felt. It really did feel that way. Movie starts. Normally you get previews. All we got was commercials. No previews. Lame. Fine.
Lame.
Whatever.
Although then that means Kim didn't have to avert her eyes or cover her face or anything like that.
No, she didn't have to do any of that. And then we start noticing that the people we were hoping that there would be spaces between us.
Yeah.
Or not between us, but between our group.
Yeah, between you guys and the next group.
Yeah, and there wasn't. There's just people packed in, and they all, for some reason, bought tickets around where we were. And so...
So 1/3 of the theater was full, but you all were in the same third.
Yeah, and of course, none of them have masks, and they've got their big, loud bags like we do and everything else. Yeah. So I'm thinking, boy, if the movie catches on fire and we have to leave, I wouldn't be surprised at this point, because this just feels... Everything about this experience is broken. Mm-hmm. It's really bad. The movie starts... Then it's fine. The film's fine. It's a digital surround sound, nice. That none of that changed. And Spider-Man's great. Had a great time with it. It was a great movie. But the entire time, dude over here, just cranking on his bag. Guy on this side kept snorting, kept going like that.
Oh God! Oh
yeah. Kept doing that. That was great. And some dude behind me was talking.
When did my audience, the audience I'm usually with, when did they all move to Salt Lake City?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's part of it. So anyway, here's the bottom line. So the movie goes, and I have a question. I have a thing about that in a second. No spoilers, chat. I promise. I really do promise. I'm not gonna skirt around any spoilers. Okay, I promise.
Not even a Scott spoiler. Just
not even a Scott
spoiler.
Spoiler. Just not a spoiler. But we get to the end of the movie. We stick around for the stinger.
Yeah.
There weren't two, right?
Mid credits and end credits.
Oh, I only saw the mid. Somebody said my Darren said there weren't two, so I'll have to check it after or sometime today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so I see that. And we get up.
No! Oh, of all things to miss.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that sounds like I missed something big. So I leave.
This was probably your first Marvel movie, right?
Yeah, it's first time. First
time you've ever been to a Marvel.
Well,
movie.
for the record, I did say, "Wait, you guys aren't there usually two?" And they're like, "No, I heard there's only one." Are you sure? Because usually there's two. No, there's just the one. I'm like, all right. So we left, and everybody else in the place was leaving too. So I felt like, oh, okay, I guess I didn't miss it. All right, so
that's true. Yeah, that's true. The end stinger is wasn't there a little bit extra beyond the trailer? I want to say there was a little bit extra beyond the trailer, but you get a trailer for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, that makes sense because this seems like this
was something a little bit extra before that, but I guess that was mid credits.
I assume this just rolls into that the way things were going for him.
Mid credits was a tiki bar, right?
Yeah, tiki bar with what's his beak.
Yeah.
There's a human being in the tiki bar.
Okay, there you go.
Say that.
That's all we need. Yes.
So, anyways, here's my so bad experience overall. And when we left, there was sleet and rain and snow and awful roads, and it was terrible getting home. And we only lived 5 minutes away, which is really annoying. That is not the theater's fault.
At least you can't blame that on the theater.
No. Oh, I did forget to mention this. I go to leave and I got to pee. So I go to the bathroom. I have to. The men's room is packed with human beings, so I didn't go in there. So I went into the family one, the changing one. There's nobody in there. So I go in there and I'm greeted with two dirty, almost sealed but not quite sealed diapers sitting on that little shelf that you put the baby on.
No, just left it there.
Just left it there. Garbage can full and overflowing. No soap in the dispenser. The sink had some kind of boogery deal in there. Don't know what that was. And the toilet had a turd. So let me tell you what I did. I went to flush that turd. Yeah. It didn't go down. Which is probably why it's still there.
Yeah.
So I peed on the turd and left. That's what I did. And I sinked a little water on my hands. There was a towel. There was a towel dispenser with some of those in there, although it was super low. Next guy probably got screwed. Pulled that out. Did a little water. Came out. Said, "Kim, give me some freaking hand sanitizer. We're never coming to this movie theater again." It was so bad.
I would never go to that almost turns me off of the theater going experience for AMC, our local AMC.
Well, you've got a nice theater, right? You've got a nice local AMC. Yeah.
There's adults present that work there.
Yeah. This didn't feel like anybody was in charge of anything.
No, it feels like it was the Wild West in there is what it feels like.
100%. And it's really disconcerting for lots of reasons. The main reason is I used to rent that theater for events.
Yeah.
And it was always well run, and they always had adults involved, and it was always extremely efficient and always good. Something happened, and I think what happened is obvious market pressure and conditions on movie theaters. I mean, it's been not been easy for that industry for the last 2 years.
Yeah,
that's number one. But number two, I'm sure that means cuts in funding and prices and just everything and pay. And I don't think any of those employees look like any of them were enjoying themselves at all. So they're probably hiring and rehiring and firing constantly.
Right. Kids are probably staying there 2 weeks, giving their notice, getting replaced with another teenager.
But it just made me go, all right, unless a brand new spanking, awesome AMC theater or somebody with some freaking pride in their work opens up somewhere around here, I think I'm good. I don't think I need to go anymore because it was just shit. All right, here's the question. Not the question. Well, it is a question.
Yeah. Well, let me throw something out really quick.
Go ahead.
So, number one, that sucks, and I would feel exactly the same way you do. And I've said it before. I am all for day and date, simultaneous theater and streaming releases, even if it comes with a cost, because The movies I don't want to see in the theater, great. I'll pay and stay home and watch them if I don't feel like I need the theater experience like I would with the big things like Dune and Spider-Man and stuff like that.
Sure.
Plus, your snorting guy and quite possibly your bag wrinkling guy probably would just stay home.
Yeah, they probably would. I mean, the chat room made a good point. They said they are laying off management. The biggest takeaway from this is that management gets laid off. Also, I just think it's because it's locally owned and run. It's just not. There's no national imperative.
Accountability.
Yeah, there's just like a local yokel thing going. And Larry Miller died years ago. Like, I don't think Larry, if he was alive, would probably not let this happen. Is my
He'd be spinning in his grave, which is probably filled with popcorn somehow.
Somehow there's popcorn in the grave. Yeah.
It's too bad we can't clip this audio out and just put it as a Yelp review.
Yeah,
let
no
people
kidding.
hear
kidding.
about it.
And I don't want it. Look, this isn't Scott going I'm full Karen here. This isn't it.
No.
This is like, well, what is the point then? I'm just not going to go. Like, if you go use a grocery store or you go to the, I don't know, this particular gas station or whatever, you expect whatever the bare minimum of value that you're supposed to get out of the thing. And if they don't give it, then I can't go there anymore.
Exactly.
I'm just done with it. All right, here's my question.
Yeah. Okay, ask the question.
You said that during the movie there was an audible gasp in the thing.
There was.
There were
actually two.
There was one in ours as well, maybe two, maybe three. Mm-hmm. But let me just ask you: was the first gasp having to do with a meeting in a kitchen?
Yes.
Okay, that's the one we gasped at as well.
Yeah.
All right, that's all.
We also had there was a second and third gasp when you know when.
yeah. I assume those moments had gasps.
Yes,
for sure.
exactly.
But the first one
and applause in all three. So gasps and applause.
Yeah. Now I had no idea of any of these things.
Yeah, which is great. I didn't either, and that is
none. And I love that
we were
feeling.
able to stay away from all of that stuff.
Yeah, stayed away from all the spoilers. Had no idea. It was a great time, and I just want to say once for the record, Zendaya is bona fide awesome. She's great. And I think that she has matured as a character through these movies. And now I cannot imagine the Tom Holland era of Spider-Man without her in it. Yeah, I think she's amazing in it. So it's awesome. You guys should see it. Don't see it at the District Theater over here. I'm doing you a favor by saying that.
I wish you guys had I wish you guys had an Alamo Draft House out there.
I do too, man.
And I wish AMC would take the Alamo Draft House model and even some of those videos they show before the movie that says, if you take your phone out during this movie, we're going to stick your balls in a vise and crank it until you see color.
Nice. Well, I had heard that they were struggling at the moment, but I hope that means not. I hope it just means general struggling, like a lot are doing during the pandemic, and that they're going to be okay. Yeah. But I heard Alamo was having a rough one.
They were, but I think they're coming back.
That'd be good.
J.K. Grammer says they used to have 2 in Houston, now they only have 1. We had 3. 2 of them closed for a while, but they just came back. So I think we've got all 3 back open now, which is great.
Only other chats having a more extended conversation here. One other thing I would say about that movie, you forget just how much of it hinges on Tom Holland's acting. Yes. If he was bad at this, I don't think these 3 movies are all that great.
No.
It needs him to be as good as he is, and as good as he is, it elevates everything. He really is great.
Yeah, he is our Peter Parker. He's certainly my Peter Parker. I mean, we've everyone from Nicholas Hammond to those other 2 guys to whoever. Yeah, but Tom Holland is my Peter Parker.
Yeah,
he's my Peter Parker.
I can tell you when,
even though he's British, what the hell?
I can tell you when what's his name stopped being my Peter Parker. Tobey Maguire. You want to know when?
When he came out dancing in Venom 3, Spider-Man 3?
No, that should have been it. But what it really was some article in some magazine where he showed his wiener. It was his full wiener. And I don't
really?
Yeah, him hanging out with like a bunch of other Hollywood types of the era of the day of him, kind of 20 years ago.
What magazine are you reading?
What was it? Hold on. Was it? It may not have been. It was some highfalutin thing though. It wasn't some like trash thing.
Was this the Sony hack, Scott? Are you looking at Fapmageddon or whatever it was called?
No, it was something else. It wasn't Playgirl. He was just like laying around some room with his wiener out, and it was like shocking. And nobody else was doing it Nobody else had their wieners out in the image but him. I don't know why I have this image, this memory. Someone's gonna have to find it.
Apparently, those are the Cider House rules. So.
Yeah. This was was it that movie with DiCaprio and them? I don't remember now. There's a thing.
Not Aviator.
No, it was definitely not
Gatsby?
that. Maybe. I don't know, but Tobey Maguire has his wiener out in it, and I don't like it.
Yeah, all right.
It was something about him, where you had to read.
I really liked him as an actor until I saw his penis. I would go see all of his movies.
Yeah.
Until I saw
his penis. Yep. That's how it is. He had his Peter Parker out. That is correct. All right. Let's move on.
That's not just my spider sense that's tingling.
I do look forward to that third movie hitting streaming and rentals and stuff because I think a lot of people who are waiting are really going to like it. It's very good.
Yeah, for sure.
We got an email about that. Remember that Toyota key fob thing where you had to pay a subscription to use it?
Yeah, the extra cost for remote starting your car.
That's the one. Well, It's Too Scary wrote in. He's in the tadpole under the name It's Too Scary. He says, about that Toyota key fob, hey, Scott and Brian, I was listening to episode 2217, and the topic of the monthly subscription to use the remote startup came up, and I thought I could help convey what Toyota was thinking when they made this decision. At my particular location, the remote start kit for Toyota vehicles 2017 and below ran about $499, not including installation, which was another $200 to $300. Okay, so that's what you used to pay if you wanted remote.
Right, if you wanted that function.
Yeah, it'd be a one-time onto your car deal, like a lot of add-ons. That's one of those. It says that the time we would see most, or at the time we'd see most of these kits were sold around the colder months, and a lot of customers were just not willing to pay for that. Would not pay for that if they only used the car in the winter or fall. They would only pay for it if they used it in the fall or winter. I cannot read today.
Why'd you read the words on the page instead of making up your own?
I'm just going to make my own story here. So Toyota adopted the idea from other manufacturers that they would charge a small monthly fee for the service. The service was modeled to last the lifetime of ownership, or on average, 15 years. I didn't know that was the average life of ownership, 15 years. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
I did not know that, no.
Says at the end of that 15 years, most customers on average would end up trading in the vehicle for a new model or leave the brand altogether. This means that you would have to repurchase that remote starter kit or just not have it on your new vehicle. With the subscription model, you were able to move that feature over to the next vehicle you purchase, thus overall saving your average customer a substantial amount of money per vehicle. I hope this helps, and I hope this email didn't bounce around too much. There you go.
That feels like a big if, right? Do you think that if you move from a Toyota to a Honda, that subscription model goes with it? Because isn't it I imagine the remote start kit subscription thing you pay for Toyota, you pay to Toyota. You don't pay a
It would 100% be Toyota. You'd have to stay with Toyota to keep it.
Right, exactly. So I don't think you're just moving to...
It's like
saying, well, can you transfer my remote start subscription over to my new Honda?
Yeah,
I don't dealership.
And I don't think he's suggesting that. I think he's saying you'd stay within the brand. I think that's just kind
if you stay within the brand, then you just.
So if you're buying an SUV after you had your Prius or something, you just re-up. I think that makes more sense from the business decision of it. It still kind of bugs me that the option here is either $500 plus $200 installation, or pay a subscription and then stay within our ecosystem. I mean, they're basically doing what phones do. It's like, hey, you want to keep using Apple Music, you better stay here, bear, whatever.
Right.
So I get that everybody wants in on that. I just kind of get annoyed when it starts to bleed into other parts of life and aren't just computer based. But whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, well, and it's illegal in a lot of places too. I don't even think you can't do it in Colorado. It's called huffing, and you can't. I know that it's like huffing. Isn't that also the thing that you do with like a spray can or whipped cream aerosol, that sort of thing? But you are not allowed to leave your car running in your driveway unattended here in Colorado because of car theft.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought maybe it was an environmental thing.
Oh, that's right, Kretz. Those are called whippets. Yeah.
Whippets. What's a whippet?
That's when you huff the whipped cream aerosol out of a can of Jiffy cream or whatever.
But
it's
wait,
called.
where does the cream go?
Ready Whip.
Do you get the cream too, or what do you do?
You get I think you get all the you must get all the cream out of it first, and then huff the aerosol. I think. I don't know.
Do we have any like basement level drug users who are like sucking aerosol?
Right.
I want to know more about it. I don't understand it. Like, I understand huffing. I've heard of it before, like paint cans and that kind of stuff. But like whipped cream, which I had heard of, but it never occurred to me that you either have to extract the cream first, or is it all
otherwise you're snorting whipped cream and the aerosol.
Are people just going into their mouth like you do with whipped cream? That's weird. All right.
The cream is a casualty of the act. It stays runny in the can. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Stays runny in the can?
Stays runny in the can. So do I after Taco Bell.
Oh, my Lord. Well, there you go.
Mine is runny in the can.
Runny in the can. There's your update on key fobs and remote starts, I guess. And we had a few people write in. They all kind of said the same thing, but makes sense to me. Thank you for that. It's too scary. If you have something you'd like to say to us, send us your emails to themorningstream@gmail.com. Here's a little programming note. We got a weird schedule tomorrow. Brian's ascending. He's ascending.
I've got a thing that we need to do, and it's requiring us to shift things a little bit.
Yeah, and you, as a result, we have to start the show early and end it sort of early. So we're starting at 8 tomorrow, 8 a.m. Mountain, and we're going to go an hour.
So for those of you in the Tadpole live listeners, come to the stream an hour early tomorrow, and it's going to be an hour-long show.
Yes,
and,
everybody at home, you'll get a slightly earlier post on your RSS feed. That's right. That's how that'll work, and it'll be a little shorter. We'll have one song. We are going to do recommendals and babble tomorrow,
and family Tadpole feud.
Yep. So that's all happening. Just a little shorter. If there's time for news, great, but probably not, is my guess, given how long those two chuckleheads talk.
It is going to be an hour of film sec, basically, right? It's, Brian Dunaway for the first half, Randy for the second half.
Yeah, and for those asking, Brian is ascending to the Rapture tomorrow at 9 a.m.
That's true, yes, exactly. This is my Left Behind moment, and I can't wait because we all float up there. Is that how it goes? I don't know. I never saw Left Behind.
Is Kirk Cameron, he taking you or with you or meeting you? Or?
He's my guide.
Okay, fantastic.
Him and that new kid they added in the 6th season.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that kid. That's when that show was probably done. I think they were done.
Yes, that was the shark jumping moment for Growing Pains.
Yeah, that maybe should have ended that right before that happened. All right. Well, that's all well and good. I've enjoyed that conversation very much. Now, let's dive into the news. It's time for the news, brought to you by
Shodan Kid, a TMS patron who says, most of my work is in progress as I go independent, but I'm working on being more active at twitch.tv/Shodan Kid. That's SHODANKID. You can also visit YouTube as Shodan Kid Plays. Is it Shodan? Shodan?
Shodan
Kid.
Shodan
Kid.
SHODAN Kid. It's very cool. Grats, Shodan Kid.
Yeah.
I hope somebody checks out your stuff.
Doc, why are we going into the future? It's Shodan Kids, Marty.
I see what you did there.
What I did there, Shodan Kids.
That's pretty good. All right, we're moving to this story here about a guy impersonating the Patriots. Now, I'm no fan of the Patriots, but that has no bearing on this story. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of Tom Brady. Now that he's not a Patriot, I like the Patriots a little bit more.
Yeah, actually, I do too a little bit more. Who's the coach? They're a different coach now, right? It's not Coach what's his bucket.
Belichick.
Yeah,
I thought it was.
Is it still Belichick? I thought he retired.
Still Belichick? No.
No, maybe not. Maybe he didn't retire, and I'm just having.
I could totally be wrong. I thought.
The guy that owns them, the Kraft guys, he's still picking up hookers or whatever his deal was?
That I don't know. Yeah, Bill Belichick is still coaching.
He's still coaching. Okay.
Yeah.
He's such a crusty dude.
He is a crusty dude.
Yeah. He's a winning coach, though. I'll give him that.
He is.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
Not as much so without his pet goat.
Nope. His pet goat has moved to another farm.
Pet goat.
Well, a man impersonates Patriots player to sell fake Tom Brady Super Bowl rings and now faces up to 92 years in jail. Oof. This is no good for him. Tom Brady
No, it is not.
Tom Brady has done enough has done enough merits. Done enough merits. Okay.
Earned enough merits?
That's
I think,
what they
and merit?
Yeah, I don't know about this done enough merits.
I mean, unless he's talking about Tom.
I mean, maybe bolavip.com needs to get their shit together.
Maybe.
To be considered the greatest quarterback in NFL history, he's the winningest gunslinger to ever do it, and it seems he could even win more rings before retiring. That's why I wouldn't be much surprised to see many people out there with Brady championship rings. I mean, he's a popular guy and can order a couple of copies whenever he wants. But recently, a 24-year-old man called Scott Spina, you could say named.
Named, yeah. That person is called Scott.
That's really weird.
We call that person Scott.
Who wrote this? This is dumb. Was brought to justice for trying to make the most of that, impersonating a former NFL player, New England's Patriot player, to get and sell fake SB rings, that's Super Bowl rings, engraved with Tom Brady's name. The feds say Spina started cooking up the scheme way back in 2017. I don't like that we say way back with talking about 2017. It's not that long ago.
4 years ago, man. Yeah.
I guess it is. That's a ways back now.
It is a ways back, yes.
When he bought a Super Bowl 51 ring off a Patriots player with at least one bad check, and then sold the ring for $63,000 to a California broker specializing in championship rings. That guy got busted. He is now going to jail. He will serve up to 92 years in prison.
Wow.
Yeah. It may not be his first offense, is my guess.
Jeez.
My guess is this guy has done some crimes.
Where do you go to have a fake Super Bowl ring produced?
I don't know, man.
You don't. Jostens? Will Jostens produce a fake Super Bowl ring for you?
I doubt it. They probably get in trouble. Like, I don't know how you'd...
I went to Super Bowl high school, and my name is New England Patriots.
Oh, that's awesome. I went to Super Bowl high school. I want to go there. Someone says in the chat you could just do them on Etsy. I don't know. Maybe people make Etsy rings.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, Super Bowl rings on Etsy. 3D print one, sure. Oh, yeah, that's true. I probably could, because you can 3D print the mold, or 3D print the ring, generate a mold off of it, and then pour pewter, like a softer meltable metal into that.
Maybe the Franklin Mint could make some fake rings. Why not?
There you go.
Yeah. Those guys
I'd like to subscribe to that.
They make shit.
They do.
All right. In our continuing series of trying to find bee stories, here's this.
I don't like bees.
We have a fresh one. 80,000 nice bees. Okay.
Oh, nice bees. Okay,
nice
yeah,
bees.
Good.
Have been discovered in a bathroom wall during home renovation.
Oh,
this is not to be
80,000.
That's a lot of bees, dude. It's a lot of bees. This is not to be confused with...
they own the house. Let's be clear.
These are not to be confused with Reverend Joe Olstein's money they found in his bathroom walls. It's a whole different story. I don't know if you heard about that. That mega church guy had all that money stashed in there. I still haven't heard what the hell was going on with that. But they had all this donation money stuffed in the walls. So some handyman who's doing a renovation on part of his mega church finds all this money stuffed in the walls. That's weird, right? Isn't that weird?
That feels like a story you'd make up when you embezzle a bunch of money.
Yeah.
I found it in the walls.
Yeah. Larry in the chat says that's some Ozark shit right there. Yeah, kind of.
Totally is. Yeah, well, they actually did hide money in the walls.
They sure did.
Oh, my God. By the way, I know you're watching, I think you're watching, oh, no, you're catching up on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I am. I am in the current season. I'm like
You're in the
4
current
episodes
season.
in, yeah.
Last night this last weekend was the season finale, and it's fantastic. It is.
I can't wait. It's been a great season so far. It's very
It
good.
is. It's so good, and so many friggin' untied shoestrings finally get tied in this.
Do you know who really blew me away in this season so far? Is that
Susie Essman?
I don't know. Who is that? Who does she play?
She's Larry. What's the matter with you?
No, she's always good. I always like her.
Garland's wife. She's always good.
No, I'm talking about the girl who's the daughter of the guy that runs the taco stand.
Oh, yes.
She's
Maria Elena, whatever.
She's
her name
amazing.
Is,
She's
She is.
so good.
She's great at playing horrible.
Oh yeah, dude. I immediately want to follow whatever comedy career she's about to do because she's really freaking funny. She's really good.
Yes. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, that show. I hope they're not done. Are they doing more?
Oh yeah, and Tracy Ullman is fantastic. Yeah, it's such a great season.
Are they going to do more? Do we know?
Don't know. We didn't know until if it got announced if there were going to be more this last time.
That's true. I guess they kind of like having that ability to just sort of do whatever they want.
I'll do another season if it's in me.
Yeah,
that's what he says.
He'd say,
pretty likely.
I love it. I love that show so much. All right.
We also find out Leon's middle name this season. I won't say it. I won't spoil
What?
it.
Oh, that's like a Kramer kind of deal with Cosmo.
Is, yeah, exactly.
He is kind of the Kramer of this show.
He is the Kramer of this show.
Yeah.
Not being in a state that allows gambling, as most of the country is, we get a ton of JB Smoove here in Colorado because he is Caesar for the Caesar's Palace gambling app. So every commercial break, because Colorado allows gambling, is DraftKings, Caesars, BetMGM, BetFrank or BetFred or whatever it is. Those are horrible. Those are the worst ones.
BetFred.
It's really seriously like BetFred.
Is it really? I hate that.
Yes,
it's awful.
Yes. It sounds like a Handmaid's Tale character.
It does. It kind of does. Yeah. So same in Arizona, same. So anywhere it's got gambling sounds like JB Smoove is everywhere.
But JB Smoove is Caesar, and so he's these commercials run constantly. So we get a lot of JB Smoove, and we're kind of tired of him. We love him, but we're kind of tired of those commercials.
I get it. He was great on He's in the Spider-Man movie. He's consistently that teacher guy.
He is very briefly, but he's in there, as is Martin Starr.
Yeah, I thought that since those guys were directly credited in IMDb ahead of time, I thought, they'll have a bigger role like they did in the first and second. They really don't. It's very, very small. But it's good to see those guys.
Elsie Knight, that's Holly Berry as Caesar's wife. I did not know that. She's got so much makeup on. We could not recognize her. Holy cow!
They moved Catwoman. That's what they
Halle
did.
Berry. I keep saying Holly Berry like it's Christmas time or something.
Holly Berry.
Wow, I had no idea. I seriously didn't.
How's she doing? She all right? She's good, right?
She's doing fine, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
She's got some new thing that she's directing or producing. I don't think she's in.
Is it like a movie or like a
movie? Yeah, current movie.
You are a Catwoman.
You are a Catwoman. Mm-hmm.
Could you not? You couldn't find.
I got it in here
Bruised.
somewhere.
That's it. Yeah, Bruised.
I always have the Randy quote. Let's see. I've moved Catwoman. No, that's not it. Here it is.
I've moved Catwoman.
Yeah, he did. We didn't move it far enough because we ended up watching it. So
that's right. Well, now we never have to move it again.
No. Back to the bees.
Yes, the bees.
80,000 nice bees discovered in a bathroom wall.
I want to know why the word nice, how that's in there.
Well, you'll see because they kind of
yes.
make a point of it. I mean, they're basically just good honeybees, the kind you want, that are good for everything.
All right.
Even though the homeowners in Florida Shore Acres area had grown accustomed to the occasional bee sting, they were tired of constant buzzing and decided to bid goodbye to the uninvited guests by renovating their home. The family, however, were in for a surprise when they called beekeeper Elijah Bixler. Sounds like a beekeeper, doesn't it?
Alicia Bixler.
What did I say, Elijah? Alicia?
Alicia.
Let's call the whole thing off. She tore away the shower wall in their bathroom to reveal a massive beehive, 80,000 bees in total. They had initially just seen a tiny patch of the beehive from the opening of the bathroom, but once she began to break down the wall, she found the massive hive that covered the entire area from floor right up to ceiling. There's a video on Facebook. I don't know if I have a link here. I might. Let's see if we've got video footage of this.
Honey just coming out of this beehive just by touching it.
Ooh, that's good honey.
Would you eat
bathroom?
Some good shower honey.
Would you eat shower honey? Would you eat shower honey or no?
Oh, geez, that's a good question because it's like it's not produced in a typical environment. I don't know if I would. I think
I might.
Yeah, don't know. That's
honey,
a really good question. Is because honey doesn't spoil.
No.
But there could be weird particulates from insulation and stuff like that. No, I don't think I would.
If you knew it was shower honey, you'd probably say, can you have a different kind? Is there a different kind of honey? Yeah.
Shower honey is my porn name.
I just think I would be hesitant to eat your honey if you told me it came out of there. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it.
I would. No, I don't think I would. I wouldn't.
In the right situation, I might, but it'd have to be pretty dire.
I love this is on TikTok. Jeez
yeah,
Louise.
of course. Let's see. The incident occurred last month, was widely seen recently. I got a surprise when I started breaking away the tiles behind the shower wall. Look how much honey is packed away in here. This is a 7-foot-long beehive, she said in the video. You could hear her voice, Mrs. Bixler. According to her, the homeowners were informed about the beehive behind the shower wall, but were not concerned about it. The family comprised of a couple, their 2 kids, and 2 Great Danes. They just continued to live there despite the occasional bee sting. Just figured it was no big deal. We love nature. We love bees, they say. And they were like, hey, you leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. They were nice bees. Oh, that's where the nice comes from. They were nice bees.
They were nice bees.
Except when they sting you, they weren't so nice then.
The occasion. How often is the occasional bee sting? Like, are we talking once a week?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or could you have anyone over that was like bee sting
allergic?
Yeah. What do you have, an EpiPen everywhere? Every room?
I'd be totally fine if there was a way to ensure that they were kept safe and that I was kept safe, like a little couple openings in the outside wall that let them go and find stuff. I imagine they've already got those or else they'd all be dead. Mm-hmm. But go and find pollen, bring it back.
Sure.
Etc.
Yeah. How'd they get in, though? Outside, probably, right?
It must be. There's some hole outside.
Yeah, they don't say here. Okay, so...
I put in a glass wall so I could look at them while I shower. Hey, bees!
This is a little like my buddy Brian Holinka at Blizzard. They found a giant bee hive. It may have been hornets. No, I think it was bees because there was honey. Anyway, massive hive up in his roof. And they did the same thing here where, in their case, they moved them out for a while. So they were in like a hotel or something. They took the whole part of that roof out, removed the entire hive, and kept all the bees and moved the bees to... I don't know if it was a bee sanctuary or bee, like a bunch of managed hives or whatever. Same thing here. They took the queen and all the workers and saved them. So they don't just go in there and spray them and kill them. They move them. Because we need bees.
Which is fine if they're not hornets.
Yeah. Hornets can F off.
Yeah, exactly. Hornets and geese. Put them in a shuttle.
That's right. Oh, that's a perfect combination. I love it. Put the bees, all the hornets, that means the murder hornets, the fat ones, the yellow jackets, all that stuff. Put all those in the same ship as all the geese. Don't care what brand of geese, just all of them.
Right.
Send them to the moon. F them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Honkers and stingers. That's right,
Hunkers
DJ.
and stingers. The Hunkers and Stingers Express.
All right. We got one more story here, I think, for today. Okay. New Hampshire brothers. Wait.
Oh, this is great. We didn't talk about this yesterday. We did have another Hampshire story yesterday.
That's right. That's why I was familiar. I was thinking, did I read this
all
already?
Hampshire all the time.
Well, a New Hampshire pair of brothers have been regifting the same box of candy for 34 years now. I love this story.
Yes.
These 2 New Hampshire brothers have been observing an unusual holiday tradition for more than 3 decades, regifting the same box of candy each year for Christmas. Ryan Wasson says he gave a Christmas-themed box of Lifesavers to his brother Eric as a joke in 1987. Oh, I'm more bugged about how long ago 87 was.
It's Lifesavers, though.
Jeez.
Like, that doesn't expire.
No, that's... I dare them to open it and eat these at this point.
Yeah.
Because he knew the older boy didn't like them. That's why he did it. It was a joke. He said he kept the box of candy all year so he could give it right back to Ryan the next Christmas. This started a tradition, and it has persisted every year since. Neither one of us will give it up because we are brothers. We can never give up. If you ask which one has ever done the best as far as giving these, we're both going to say ourselves. We're never going to give in. So
that's hilarious.
Clearly competitive. Yeah. So
they have. So some of the things they've done, they've sewn it into a teddy bear. So they've taken this. It's like a Christmas book filled with Lifesavers. It's made by Lifesavers, but it's like a book and it's filled with candy. and they've sewn it into a teddy bear. They've had a restaurant deliver it on a silver platter to one of them at the end of a meal.
Oh my Lord.
It's so great.
I love it. I love
yeah.
that. That should go on in perpetuity until they're dead. That should be whoever dies first, the other guy should lay that on the coffin or something.
They totally should.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm all in for this. Okay.
34 years.
That's your news for today. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Bill Duran. He's back home. Missed last week, but he's back, baby. And we'll find out what's going on in the world of making things. Also, a little science with Bobby after that. Before all that, though, a song break from Brian.
Yeah. So these guys are the Watchers. No, not because they're overseeing the multiverse in What If, but they're a couple of brothers. Or no, I'm sorry, a couple of friends who formed Valley of Fire Records, also out of a band that they also formed. Tim Narducci and JJ Garcia, incredible guitarist right here. This is a rocker, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the song "I Am the Dark" by the Watchers.
Oops, hold on. There we go.
The Mini Winnie, part of American tradition, and today on the cutting edge of design and function in a Class C motor home.
People who were born in 2000 are now 40.
The morning stream. Look out, Muppets!
You like that Generation Z?
I want to
math?
hear that. I want to hear that one more time. Can we hear that one more time?
One more time. Here you go.
People who were born in 2000 are now 40.
She was serious when I captured that. Of course, everybody laid
40
into her.
what?
Yeah, 40 what? They're now 40 what?
Pounds heavier?
Yeah,
Maybe. I
yeah.
believe that.
Maybe. I know. I have one who was born in 2000. He's 21. What's wrong with your math? Anyway. Hey, Brian, tell me that song again.
That song again is I Am the Dark by the Watchers.
Very, very nice. All right. Sit back and enjoy the following guest appearances.
Okay.
Hold on.
I don't have a seat. I'll stand. I'll stand back.
Will you stand back?
I will stand back in the middle of my room. I did not
I
hear from you.
don't know that song very well. All right. Here we go. Enjoy this.
Your bat cave's open there, Bill.
A guy we haven't talked to in a bit because last week he was traveling with family and doing all kinds of cool Christmas stuff. It's Bill Duran, all the way from punishprops.com and the Pacific Northwest of this great country of ours. Bill, welcome back to the show. Oh, I don't hear him. Is he muted? He might be muted. He leaves for a week and then he's muted.
Oh, forgets how things work.
Oh, he's got to make a new microphone out of foam. You're going to foam smith a mic and a mixer and put a little balsa wood in there. Maybe Oh, there he is.
There we go.
Hi.
About that.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. Look, you've had a whirlwind holiday. We can't expect perfection. It's fine. How are you?
Good. That was an unplug it and plug it back in situation.
Oh, those are the best kind.
Like a charm.
Hey, did you?
Yes.
I don't know if you heard this, but well, you probably didn't. But Brian Ibbett made me a cool 3D print of Batman. Batman.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I have to paint it, and I'm nervous.
Yeah, I gave him a gift that involves a lot of work.
Yeah.
Hey,
Excellent.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah,
Here's a job.
I'm like legit excited about it, but I keep being nervous about it, and I don't know why. But then Brian reassures me, you just take this primer here and you spray it if you screw up, and you just keep working. So
Just start over.
yeah. So I'm gonna do my best. I wonder what you've been up to though. I mean, it seems like holidays and all that been kind of busy. What's on your plate today?
Well, it's snowing out, and I'm staying at home and not working. We took a couple weeks off. I've just been playing a whole bunch of Cyberpunk 2077.
Nice. Where are you playing it? What platform are you playing it on?
PC.
That's the place to play it. Yeah, that's where it's where the current next gen current consoles, PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, don't have their native versions yet, and so really the best if you're going to get the best visual experience, and also probably the most patched experience, I think the PC is the way to go. So good job. How's that going?
I waited a while. It was on sale this last week, so I grabbed it finally.
Yeah. Are you enjoying it?
I am. It's fun. It's taking a little bit, but I am really kind of getting into the world.
The world is
quite a world.
That's the key, right? Is you want a good cyberpunk world to spend your time in, and
right.
That game has that. It's got some problems, some issues, but I don't know. I don't think it gets technically when it launched, it was a mess, like real bad. But it's in a place now where I don't think it deserves as much hate as it keeps getting. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's good to hear.
Oh yeah, seems like it's fine.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anything in there pop out and go, oh, I'm making that gun. I'm making that knife or whatever. Any of that happen?
Not quite yet, but I have seen a lot of attractive stuff. I like the car. I kind of want to make a car.
Yeah.
Cars are cool.
You should make a car. What would that take? Yeah. A lot, right?
At least a garage. I don't even have a garage, so that would be step one.
Wow. All right. Well, tell us what you are making, or what are you thinking about making? Because since you're taking some time off, you probably are like in headspace mode where you're thinking of your next great project, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, so for Christmas, I got a new art book, and that's what I wanted to talk about because art books are awesome.
Yeah.
So I got the Spider-Verse art book for Christmas.
So the Into the Spider-Verse, the animated?
Yes.
Nice.
And I'm very excited about that. I haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie yet, but I'm also very excited about that.
You should. It's very good. You'll like it.
Art books are a really cool thing to collect, and I have quite a few of them. I have dozens from TV shows, movies, and video games. One of the cool things about art books is for Christmas, you may have a friend or a family member who's got to get you something. Mm-hmm. An art book is a great thing to send them, or a list of art books that you want.
So is this one highly specific, or is it like generalized? Is it drawing? Is it like what do you got?
I always ask. So the reason why I bring it up this way as a gift is because that's how I got mine. I have a family member who drew my hat in a Secret Santa thing, and I had to tell them what I wanted, and I needed a good price point, like $20-$30, right? So I said, oh yeah, here's a bunch of art books that I like. Pick one, and they picked the Spider-Verse one. So
okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I think we bought that. I think Carter has that book.
Yeah.
I think. And it's awesome. It's got like really cool conceptual stuff in there, and it's amazing. It's really, really good.
Mm-hmm. So also, if you have a friend who you know is a fanatic of a certain franchise, an art book is a great thing to get as a gift for that person. So I have a wish list on my Amazon of all the art books I still want.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They're also great, just like coffee table books, just to have out. And the main reason why I get art books is they're really fantastic inspiration for your artwork. Especially like a movie you're way into, or a video game that you're way into. And they're full of more than just images. Most of them are like a lot of concept images, maybe some photographs from like the production of a movie or whatever. But really good art books have tons of information about the production of that thing. So for example, we have an Avatar: The Last Airbender book that has tons and tons of writing from the folks that made the show. And there's a lot you can learn about the show by going through the art book, more than just the art.
Sure. Would you count things like, so I'm showing the chat right now, this book I picked up earlier this year. It came out in 2000. It's a book called Ridley Scott, A Retrospective, and it's basically everything he's ever made all the way up through, I think, Alien Covenant, maybe beyond that. But it's like, really gets down in the gritty nitty about how Alien was made and the work that they did on the original Dune concepts that carried over to that, including Giger's work or Giger's design work and all that stuff. It's very, very cool, super inspirational. But it's, it's all filmmaking.
Sure.
But it's also
a lot
like
of images though.
Yeah. It's like a lot of miniatures. Like here's mega LA and Blade Runner, and it's just this model and a dude walking around putting stuff down on it and pumping, fake fog through it and all that. And I love that stuff. It's like super interesting to me. But would you put that in the same category? Or are we talking about it's obviously not exactly the same kind of visual as an art book, but it's a kind of art, right?
Yeah, it's in a similar vein. There are plenty of images that you can pull inspiration from too. I personally like the ones that are not just imagery either. I like hearing the stories behind all that stuff.
Sure.
There's one of the things I like a lot is there's frequently unused concept art. So, for example, I built the District 9 alien rifle a few years back, and in the District 9 book that I have, they show that rifle with a bunch of different color schemes, a bunch of different variations, which I think is really, really neat, just to see the path they took to get to the final design that they have. I think being able to witness that in an art book gives you a lot of insight into, the artists who worked on it.
Yeah.
More than just seeing the final product. And as someone who makes stuff, I think that's valuable information.
Found something called The Big Bad World of Concept Art for Video Games. How to Start Your Career as a Concept Artist. Came out in 2017. Highly rated. I was just looking at some of these pages. This looks pretty neat if you're into that sort of stuff. A lot of weapon designs in here. Cool character stuff. Mechs. Oh. I like mechs. Super into that. That's what you need to build.
Tex-Mechs.
You like Tex-Mechs? It's all right. If you're, you get thirsty though. I need water around for that.
Yeah.
Bill, do you ever want to make a mech? You ever want to just like break? I mean,
yeah.
We talk about
I
cars
do.
and stuff, but I don't even mean one that works. Like just a big, tall, cool, show off, badass looking metal monster mech would be rad, right?
Correct. That would be very rad.
Yeah. All right. You have my vote. I vote for you. You get that done. Let us know how it goes.
Again, the garage is really not having a garage is kind of holding me back.
Yeah, that one's a stinker.
I would need a 3-story garage to build a mech.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
what my neighbors would think.
yeah, they would be. Maybe they'd be impressed. Maybe it'd be fine.
They wouldn't. It doesn't matter what they think. They wouldn't say anything with my 3-story tall mech covered in missiles.
That's right.
Keep
You
their
aim
mouths
it at
shut.
them, even if they're useless and not real. You aim those missiles at them, and what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Nothing. Well, awesome. Any links you'd like to share with us this week or today?
Sure. Real quick, a handful of some of my favorite art books. Super fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fallout 4 has a really good one. Mad Max Fury Road, Scott, if you haven't seen that one.
I have seen that. It's a pretty good movie, I think. It's all right.
Yeah. The art
Do you have the art book?
No,
Yeah,
I
you have the art
don't.
book,
But
Scott?
now that I'm hearing this, I need to find out why I don't own this. I'm looking
Yeah,
it up
'cause I
now.
bet the production, like the concept art and stuff would be amazing in that thing.
Oh, look
Definitely.
at that. Oh, I should just get this. Why don't I have this?
Good.
Why don't you have that?
Oh, guys.
There's a good series for The Hobbit. There's a really good couple of books for the game Destiny. And then Blade Runner 2049 has a really amazing one.
Oh, I'll bet it does. Yeah.
Probably a good Dune one on the way, I would have to imagine.
I can tell you why Scott doesn't have a lot of these art books. Because every time he walks into a Barnes & Noble, he's too preoccupied with telling Kim how everything in that Barnes & Noble could fit on his iPhone.
Yep, I can't get over it. I go in there with the intent to look at something cool, and instead I go, "It all fits on my phone 8 times over." I yell at the employees. You're not wrong. Okay, cool. These are good. Good
cool.
recommendations.
Yeah, there is a Dune one as well. I haven't grabbed it yet.
Oh, it is. Okay, so there is one. I assume there'd be one. Just
There's
matter
also a
of when.
Cyberpunk 2077 one that I gotta get.
Oh, look at you with all your.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the Fury Road one looks great. Like the Furiosa concept art right there on the cover or back cover of it.
Yeah, that looks awesome. I would like to own that now. I'm going to buy this today.
Yep.
This is
All
a
right, everyone,
measly.
spend some money.
It's a measly $30. I'll use. It's not like Christmas just happened or anything, So I'll just
Right.
go ahead and buy
Yeah.
myself a gift, and it'll be great.
Quick, send Scott an Amazon link code so you can get some money off of all of his purchases today.
So someone in the chat, JC Calhoun, just made a kind of an interesting point without actually meaning to. There's a lot of games that aren't great, like that just fail or whatever. Anthem's a good example, and he says he just picked up one for Anthem for $3. Now, the problem with Anthem has never been its art design or its any of that. That stuff's amazing. It's really good. That would be a really cool art book to have, just as and you're going to get it cheap is the point, because the game sucked and nobody bought the game, so they figure, well, we got to sell the book at a lower price, and they do. And there's really good work in there. So that's not a bad way to do it if you're looking for a discount.
So for 2049, for Blade Runner 2049, there's the art book, which again looks amazing, and then there's the storyboards, a separate book that's got all the storyboards. It's like, oh man, they
That's
both look really cool. Yeah.
Oh, Brian, I just found a thing you want. Hold on.
What is it?
It's called. Hold on. Maybe you have it. Hold on. I gotta bring it up so I can read the damn thing.
Okay.
The text is so small. The story of Marvel Studios, the making of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, I don't know if I do have that.
It's a fatty. $134 this thing.
Jeez.
Huge coffee table style, like big sleeve thing. I'll bet you'd like that.
Tina got me for Christmas the Paul McCartney lyrics book, which is another fatty. This thing is as heavy as a small child.
Yeah.
And it's like lyrics to all the Beatles songs, as well as and all his solo stuff, his Wings stuff, as well as the stories behind all of them. And this thing is a beast. But man, it's I'm so looking forward to that read.
Is it like a scan? There are a lot of scanned
A lot of
lyrics and stuff?
handwritten, all of his
that's cool.
handwritten lyric sheets.
That's really cool. Who has all those now? Like, where do you think those are? Are these in some
I
kind
think
of?
he owns those. The ASCAP licenses. I don't know who owns the songs now, because it was Michael Jackson's estate. I don't know if he bought them back, but I mean, he owns all of his materials that he used to create those songs. That the songs themselves can be purchased by somebody else.
Sure, that's pretty cool. Well, all right, everybody, go out there and get your favorite art book. Is the point?
There you go. It's a really good suggestion,
Yeah.
especially now that there's all those after Christmas sales.
Yeah.
That's right. Especially on
Might have
stuff
some
for
gift cards.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody gave you a Target gift card. Use it. Although Target kind of sucks for books. Don't go there.
I will say, Bill, you're I've had a project for a long time that you inspired that I'm finally going to work on this week while freelance is kind of slower. It's taking the Hasbro Star-Lord element guns that I bought and turning them into like roughing them up, priming them, and then painting them to look like actual Star-Lord element guns.
Nice. Well, I have a video where I do that.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes, and you buy like carbon fiber stickers and all that stuff.
Well, have fun. That sounds exciting.
It
Yeah,
does.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Bill,
Creating
it's
some burn marks on the metal and stuff.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Bill, it's going to be great having you around for another year. So we look forward to 2022. Can't say. What am I trying to say?
2022.
Why do I keep saying 2022? Why do I do that?
Because you think you're a Ramon.
I don't like saying that. I like the Ramones. Don't get me wrong. They're great.
2020, 2020, 2022. I want to be sedated.
I do want to be sedated. Anyway, Bill, have a good one. Take it easy, and we'll see you next time. Bye now. All right.
Yeah, look at that big fatty book thing. Story of Marvel Studios making this Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, do you see that?
134, normally 150.
Oh!
Wow, it's marked down $16 whole.
Yeah, but let's see. They have a bundle too for $176. It includes like origin
with,
comics and stuff.
I've got the Marvel Encyclopedia.
Yeah, of course you do.
Of course I do.
Yeah. Anyway, if anyone's out there,
you bought it for me for my birthday, dingus.
That's right, I did. It was great. I remember doing that. But the this big one, you got somebody out there with some pockets, man. You got to pony up and get Brian a giant book.
No, you don't need. Nobody needs to do that.
I think I should.
Brian will do this one for himself if he does it.
All right, Bobby incoming.
Buy me Coffee Crisp candy bars from Canada, because we don't have those here.
Oh, is that a? Tell me what that is. I don't know what that
those
is.
Are great. We've had them before on the show. It's like a Kit Kat bar, but coffee mocha flavored.
Oh, I remember that. We did try those. Somebody in Canada. Somebody sent those from there.
They did indeed.
Yeah.
Canada.
So I have added Bobby to this call, but he's hanging up on it. Bobby, you there? Hello.
I'm here. Are you?
Yeah, that was weird. It like hung up on you twice. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I
thought it was.
It was really odd. It's all right though, because now we can do this.
Science.
It's science, everybody, with Bobby. A little science, anyway. And
I am science. I am here.
You're science. Finally, science has arrived. Hey, you sound like you're still getting over that head cold a little bit. How you feeling? You doing all right?
I'm feeling fine. I just decided to keep the deep voice.
Oh,
yeah, good,
all right.
Good.
Hang on to that for dear life, because it'll go away eventually. It's nice to have you here. We hope you're well. How was your Christmas? Everything fine?
It was great. It was nice, and spend some time with family. Went down to Charleston to see the in-laws, and it was fast turnaround. We had to come back real fast because of work and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
But the kids had great fun. They got lots. It's all about the kids now. You know, when you have kids, it's not about you anymore. So.
No, it never is again. I can tell you that. But eventually, when one of them has a kid, then it's all about them, and then you get to dress up in a Santa suit and look stupid. So look forward to that.
Can't wait.
It is actually really fun. He was way better this year. Previous year, he didn't like it at all. He cried the whole time. I have video of this.
Oh no.
Now me this year in the exact same Santa suit, same voice, same entry and everything. He wasn't excited about it, but he didn't cry. So he opened the door, he saw me out there. He literally says, "Bye Santa," and shut the door. Then I came in.
How many F-bombs did you drop while you were there?
I didn't drop any. And neither did he.
Who
the F are you? So this is on TikTok if anyone wants to see it. It's on my account. But I come in, finally, sit down with him, and for a second he'll sit there and read, but then he starts to side-eye his mom and then realizes where he is again and does not want to be there, so he escapes again, but never cried. So, baby steps. We're moving on up. He's about to turn 3, so, you gotta do what you got to do. Let me share something real quick. Here's the science of growth in young people. All right? Hold on. I got to find where I put this. All right, so this is 1 year ago, Van trying to say my name. Okay? So this is a year ago, him trying to say, literally a year this month, he tried to say my name. Here you go.
Hey, Van, can you say Scott?
Shark.
No, say Scott.
Shark.
No, Scott.
Shark.
Scott.
Shark.
Scott.
Shark.
Scott. Scott.
Shark.
Okay, that's as good as it got, right? 1 year later.
I'm trying to say you suck.
Yeah, exactly. 1 year later, he can do it now. So listen to this. This is recorded just last week.
Say Scott.
Scott.
Can you say Scott Johnson?
Scott Johnson.
Okay, so
that sounds like Obi-Wan Kenobi a little bit.
Yeah, so a little trouble there on the full name, but progress, everybody, progress. All right, Bobby, enough of this bullcrap. Let's get to what's going on today in science. You, of course, a purveyor of scientific thoughts and ideas. We'd love to hear what you have planned today. What's going on?
Well, we got two main things that have popped up in science news lately. The first one is a little bit of update on Omicron.
Omicron!
Yep. And then the one after that is the James Webb Space Telescope. But we'll start with the quick Omicron update. So just, I think yesterday or maybe the day before, the CDC changed their quarantine recommendations. Did you hear that?
Yeah, there's an awful lot of people flipping out about it. I don't understand why. All they did was just say, well, here's the new how much time you should quarantine yourself number.
Yep.
And
so they changed the recommendation down from 10 days down to 5 days. And what that means is if you have tested positive for COVID, then you need to quarantine for 5 days. And then if after that time, if you're asymptomatic, then you can leave the house, but they still say you should wear a mask for the next 5 days.
Okay.
And that recommendation change is based on the data that with Omicron being probably by now in the 90% of range of new cases. So Omicron is here and here to stay for a while. With Omicron, the most infectious times are 2 days prior to showing symptoms and 3 days after. So that's where that recommendation comes from. And so we've got to remember that the CDC doesn't just make recommendations and say, the most extreme recommendations. Part of what their consideration is public health and the ability to be able to comply with those things and getting people back to work and functioning society and stuff like that. So all of those things factor into their recommendations. And that's where they are.
Why is it controversial? Because I guess everything's controversial, so I don't mean to be naive to that. Everybody can take anything and make it into whatever they want to make it these days, but it surprised me a little because to me it was like, oh, they've altered the recommendation based on collected data, and that may change again because that's what data is. And it's like me being told, hey, get the colonoscopy at 50. Nope, get it at 40. Nope, get it at 45. Like this happens all the time with all sorts of things in our lives, and I couldn't understand why that was such a hot button, other than COVID's a hot button in general. But
Well, when you talk about controversy, when it comes to science, you have to be careful about using, is this actually controversial or not? It might be controversial to the lay public, and I don't mean lay public as a pejorative term. I just mean it as non-experts, and that's most of us, right? So, but it's non-controversial in the scientific world because this is based on the data, and the data is showing that, hey, the Omicron comes in fast and gets out pretty fast too. It's not too bad, and the symptoms are less severe, and hospitalizations aren't as bad. And so if it's possible for us to, use that data to soften the recommendations, then that's what the science is gonna point towards. It's controversial to the rest of the public, probably because it's just different and people are worried and want to say, no, you need to quarantine as long as you can so that we can stop the spread, which I understand that, and it makes sense to me. But the science is showing that Omicron is a lot different than previous variants. It's a lot different than Delta. Here's the perfect example of one of the ways that it's very different. I think it was December. Anyway, around December 21st, the hard data showed that 73% of new cases were Omicron, and that's why. And the reason I say it's likely 90% now in that range, we don't have the data on it yet, but the reason I say it's around 90% probably now is because 1 week earlier, when it was 73%, 1 week earlier, it was only 12% of new cases. So over the course of a week,
Jeez.
That's how fast it started spreading. Now that sounds scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that might be like, you want to say, well, then everybody should lock their doors and we should all everything needs to be shut down because this is scary and spreading, right? But it's also it's much more mild than the Delta variant was. So this is preliminary data. It's not been peer reviewed and everything, so I give that caveat because these numbers I'm about to give could very well change. But the range that they're in is probably indicative of the trend that things are going in. And what that is Omicron. Some preliminary data shows that Omicron multiplies 70 times faster than Delta in the airways. Like, so our like our windpipe and nasal cavities and stuff like that. So in the airways, Omicron multiplies 70 times faster than Delta, but in the lungs, it multiplies 10 times slower than Delta. What that means is that it will spread much faster because it can, in the airways where you're coughing and sneezing and everything, it's spreading really fast.
Right.
But once it gets into your lungs, it's spreading really slow. And the lungs is where it could do the damage.
Right. So it's not to say there aren't people that aren't going to still experience, horrendous symptoms, and maybe even due to other circumstances, be they, comorbidities or whatever, they may still, it's still going to be COVID related awful. But
right.
But because it's moving slower in the lungs, you're talking about kind of a numbers thing, right? Like just less severe on the aggregate.
The other thing is that this change in the virus to Omicron to being faster spreading but milder is good, and it's expected. It's what you would expect a virus like this to do. Typically, a virus like this that is when it mutates, it's going to probably, if it's going to be a successful virus, which clearly by this time we can call COVID a successful virus in terms of, from COVID's perspective, right? The virus is succeeding at what it wants to do. But in order for it to be successful, it needs to trend towards being faster spreading but weaker. Because if you're faster spreading and you kill people really fast, then you're not going to last very long. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to run out of people to spread to. But if you can be weak, harder to detect, you go asymptomatic in people for a long time, if not the whole time, then you can spread more easily, and you do. And then at the same time, if you're mutating to actually be easier to spread, then you get to go all around the world, like
Yeah.
much.
So
much
you end
more
up.
quickly.
So even if you have an alleviation coming from the idea that it's slower in the lungs, so even if that happens, you still have the potential because of the spreadability and breakthrough cases and masks aren't as effective against it, that sort of stuff. Despite it being a more mild form, once you get it, you still have this exponential rise in spreadability, which can neutralize the benefit of it being slower in the lungs, because at that point it's not going to matter because the volume is so big. You're still overwhelming hospitals. You're still overwhelming the system.
Yes.
You're just doing it in a different. You're just weighing it on a different end of the thing.
Yeah, so I don't mean to imply that it's good in the sense like people need to stop being careful. You absolutely do need to be careful. We don't want to just stop and give. It's already good at spreading. We don't want to give it even an easier time spreading, right? We still want a mask. Masks are still effective against it.
Sure.
But in terms of why they changed the recommendations, it's just because it goes through us faster. And it's not, once it's out of your airways, it's difficult to spread, and it just seems to it doesn't stay in us spreading to people for as long as Delta did. They're expecting, talking about numbers, they're expecting this surge that we're in the middle of right now to peak around late January, early February, and the numbers they're projecting are about 400,000 new cases a day in the U.S., which is, for reference, back in the January 2020 surge, which was the last really big one, it was about 250,000 new cases a day. So we're a lot higher than that is what they're expecting it to do. But most people are going to be largely asymptomatic and mild cases is what they're thinking.
So let me ask you this. If all of that continues to hold, and of course this stuff changes, you never know what the crap's happening. 1 minute to the next, people try to keep up, and then when you do, you move on to the next step or whatever. Does this mean that we could get to a place where, because this is now the dominant strain, that the dominant strain will perhaps mutate into other dominant strains where it's even less aggressive in the lungs and maybe spreads faster but more asymptomatic? And then the next version of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it going to water itself down to the point that that's where we see it go away? Because otherwise, it's, I keep hearing epidemiologists go, well, it's probably here to stay in some form.
Yeah.
But can it water itself down over time? Do we have any kind of history of that in any other way to say, oh, it could do that?
My non-expert opinion, so I'm caveating this because this is just based on things that I've read and opinions from other experts, but is that, or my non-expert thought and understanding is that, yes, it will probably, if it's going to trend in any way, it will trend towards, like I said, faster spread and milder symptoms. But from what I hear, it's looking like it's probably going to end up like a flu level thing that's around here, that's around forever. It's endemic. The flu is endemic. It's always around. It's going to be seasonal. COVID is likely to be a seasonal thing that we just have to get vaccines for. And the flu also kills people, so COVID will probably still kill people and put people in the hospital, but it'll become something that we get better at managing, and that's the hope at this point.
So instead of flu season, we'll have COVID season. And we'll
or
still
maybe
have
just
flu season.
Respiratory infection season.
Joint flu COVID season.
Yeah. COVID and flu, get in a car and party all winter is what they do.
That's right.
Okay, well, that's super interesting. It is impossible. This is one of the problems with the era we live in, and maybe this would be true of any era we are in. It's impossible to even say the word COVID without it being wildly divisive, and it can be pretty extreme in every angle. Like you've got your extreme people who think it's a hoax and made up, or China made the virus, or you can get even less complicated and just say, I'm just not worried about it. I don't think it's important, or I don't think it's dangerous. And then you've got on the other side where it's like even the mention of it means that you're misinforming somebody, or if you aren't wearing 12 masks everywhere you go in your own house, then you're part of the problem. Like these extremes are kind of the problem. What we hope we gain from these COVID discussions in this segment on Tuesdays, because COVID will come up here and there. It's a big scientific topic. It's kind of hard to avoid. we are trying to take the moderate approach, the middle approach, the take it all in, do the best we can with what we have kind of approach. So I just want to put that out there. Everyone just calm down,
Everybody is sick of talking about it. I'm sick of talking about it. But the reason I do bring it up is whenever something pops up in the news that I think is going to get, like you said, is going to get people riled up and asking questions and wondering what the heck is going on, I figure, well, at least talk about it and say what I think that the facts are, just so people have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other thing that happened was the James Webb Space Telescope got launched.
Oh, yeah.
That's very exciting.
Did that do anything yet? That's cool, or did it just launch?
No, it has not done anything except get into space. It's not even at its final destination.
It's not even installed. It's been downloaded or uploaded, really.
Uploaded
to the cloud.
Yeah, it's in the cloud. Sure, it's one way of looking at it.
But it was launched on on Christmas. Isn't that cool?
That
it
is
was
cool.
supposed to be launched back in 2007.
Whoa,
but,
that's a hell of a delay.
Yeah, that's a long delay. It's a 14-year delay, which is like 30 years in TikTok years, right? We learned that earlier in the episode.
Yeah, we still thought our new 360s were cool then. We were getting red rings of death that year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was started to get built in 1996. So if 2020 was 40 years ago, then 1996 was 50 years ago, I think. So
right. Well, that's cool. So when are we supposed to get something from it?
This space telescope, the way it's different than the Hubble, which is out there right now, the way this one is different is that it is going to be taking pictures in the infrared range. And why that's really exciting is that infrared light can penetrate further through spacecraft like dust and particles and stuff in space. It's a longer wavelength, so it travels through things more easily. It doesn't get blocked by as much interference. And when you're looking at infrared light, you can technically see further back in time or further away, whichever way you want to talk about it, further away, because as the universe expands, also everything in it expands, including the wavelength, including light. So as light is traveling, visible light may have left a very distant galaxy a long, long time ago, but as it gets to us, over time, the visible light wave has expanded into a longer wavelength. And so right outside the visible light spectrum is infrared. So it allows us to see light that was further away when it left. And I'm sure you've heard all the time that literally means that we can see further back in time.
Yeah. Right.
To closer to when and I know that a lot of people like to maybe not really take that statement seriously because it sounds very poetic.
I love it.
And it is kind of poetic. I do like it because there is a poetry to it, but it's literally allowing us to see what was going on further back in time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that's exciting about this is we can see how much older galaxies were formed. Some of the first galaxies after the Big Bang, some of the very first galaxies and stars to form, we will actually be able to see that. We'll be able to observe different spectra of light coming out of planets' atmospheres. So maybe we'll get it'll be easier for us to detect signs of life on other planets. And it's just amazing. It's going to be so far away. That's why it hasn't gotten there yet. It's from the launch. It's going to take like 30 days of corrective burns. So like they have to correct the trajectory of this telescope as it goes out. It's going 1.5 million kilometers away from Earth, which is actually about 4 times further than the moon.
Oh, geez.
So way.
Well, plus then you got to wake Ripley up. She's going to feel sick. You go to
she
the
goes,
galley.
Again?
Yeah.
Would you guys quit waking me up for this?
Yeah, and then Bishop does the knife thing.
We're not waiting. She'll be in her underwear the whole time and stuff like that.
Okay, good. Well, that solves it. Let me ask you this: like when I see a star blink out in the night, I'm kind of seeing the past, right? Sort of.
Yes. So technically,
Yeah.
your eyeballs can also see further back in time because the stars that you see, that light left a long, long, long time ago. But this can detect light from way further away, so it can see just even further back. This telescope is actually technically not in orbit around the Earth, although it'll be staying with the Earth the entire 5 to 10 years that it's going to be up there. It's technically going to be in orbit around the sun. But it's at a point called the L2 point, which is it's just a stable place in orbit around the sun where it'll stay with the Earth the whole time that it's there. Because we want it to stay as close, like we want it to stay the same distance away from us if we can help it, so that the light, like the signals from the satellite, will get to us faster.
We basically have made a 3D spreadsheet of space, right? We've done that. Haven't we
Sure.
done that? Where it's like...
I think so. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right,
Like
yes.
L4, it's like, okay, well... let's see.
Yeah.
Column
Half
L.
of my cells, though, say $NAN, and I don't know what that means.
You drug something when you shouldn't have, or something.
Exactly. I accidentally
Yeah.
copied the wrong formula into the wrong cell, and this one's the wrong. This one's text. This one's a number.
They'll just make a space macro and fix it all in one shot. It'll be
Exactly.
fine.
Yes.
Well, this is all very exciting. I want to see what that thing produces.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
It really is. I've seen pictures of like certain nebula in the visible spectrum, and then they've taken pictures from Earth of the same nebula using infrared, and it's like 20 times more stars that you can see because the visible light gets blocked by all the space dust in the nebula. But the infrared light makes it through, so you can see so much stuff.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very exciting. And the last thing though that I'll say about this telescope is that they still don't know if it's good. There are more than 300 points of failure from launch to taking the pictures.
That sounds like just a typical week for me.
You're a 300-point failure kind of guy.
300 points of failure, yeah.
Okay.
Tina
So-
documents them all, actually.
Yeah. She keeps her own
NASA
3D
scientists-
spreadsheet. Sorry, go ahead.
all the NASA scientists are extremely nervous because it's not an exaggeration to say, I've heard them say this, it's not an exaggeration to say that if this thing does not successfully deploy, that's like hundreds, if not thousands of astronomers, future plans for their scientific careers are just over.
Yeah.
Like they're counting on this thing.
That's like a
because
whole.
Hubble
It's like
is
3
basically
hours.
done.
It's like 3 hours of Jeff Bezos' pay down the drain. That's what that is.
Right.
Just
Right.
gone. Where will we get that money
and
again?
if it doesn't work, it's so far away that we can't repair it. It just will be done. Like if it doesn't work, they're just like, oh, well, I guess that was $10 billion down the toilet.
Yeah. That's the thing with these things, right? That's why they take the time they take. That's why the delays happen. They just want to make
That's why
sure.
it's been delayed more than 10 years. Yeah, because something little happens and they have to fix it. That's why it was originally recently going to launch in the middle of December, but they're so careful with this that it was going to launch, I think, on December 16th. And while they were transporting it, they hit a speed bump too hard or something. Like it just jostled.
Oh, that sucks.
They couldn't detect. It didn't look like there was anything wrong, but they're so careful with this. They said, well, we have to take an entire extra week and a half to make sure, or an entire extra week to make sure that nothing happened. And fortunately it didn't, but that's the type of care that they have to take with this.
That's
because
some
once
Earth.
it's up there.
That's some Earth bullshit right there, man. Freaking speed bump. Ugh, I hate it. I mean, it's a nice euphemism, to say, oh, we hit a couple speed bumps. That's why and usually you just mean those metaphorically, but not in this case.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Daryl pushed the car a little too hard around that corner and hit a bump. We should be in a state that isn't Alabama.
I like that it's Daryl.
Yeah.
Well done.
A name just came to my head. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Bobby, is always enlightening stuff. There is more of this to be had on your podcast. Tell people where they can get it.
The podcast is called All Around Science. Just search for it and you'll find it. We talk about all sorts of stuff like this, weekly science news, and we just did a roundup of all the stuff that we missed in 2021, including the first ever pig to human kidney transplant was successful this year. So
Whoa.
we talked about that.
Whoa.
And that's a
I
big
hear that's
deal.
some pig.
Hey, that is some pig. That'll do, pig. That'll do when they gave his kidney up. All right. Well, that's very cool. I actually want to hear more about that. If you're ever short on stories, I'd like to hear about the pig kidney here on Tuesdays. It's Bobby Franks, everybody. Have a fantastic week and a happy New Year. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye now. All right.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
There's a rat, though, that's not very happy about the pig situation.
No, never. Played by Charles Nelson Riley back in the day.
Paul Lynde, I think.
Was it Paul Lynde? Oh, I thought it was.
Let's look it up because
You might be right. I mixed those two guys
up.
Yeah. What was that called?
Paul Lynde, Templeton. Thank you very much.
Well done. Well done.
And Henry Gibson from The Burbs was Wilbur.
Hold on. Who was the dinosaur in Toy Story? That was Charles Nelson Riley. Right?
Oh, really? Okay.
Was it?
Oh, no. The dinosaur is Wallace Shawn.
Oh, shit. You're right.
Yeah.
Why am I thinking of Charles Nelson Riley at all?
I don't know.
I don't know why.
Because he's your top right match game square, right next to Brett Summers.
I guess so.
Oh, I put blank.
Those were good times. All right. Hey, before we go, quick email from this listener, Lee, who wrote in, says, I thought I would share an observation with you. You guys were talking about HBO, or you were talking about an HBO show the other day, How To, the one with John Wilson.
John Wilson, yeah.
Says, I started watching it, and it's great. One of Scott's biggest recollections from season 1 was the episode with the guy on the bed having his foreskin pulled with a rope. Well, I got to that episode last night.
Another actor that Scott really liked until you saw his penis.
Yeah, that guy I'll never be able to get out of my mind. He says, I got to that episode last night, and the end of that segment is the guy laying there with his privates being stretched and talking about how great the movie Parasite was. Maybe there's a subconscious reason Scott can't hit play on that movie. Just a thought, Lee. Ha!
That is an interesting parallel. You associate the movie Parasite with a guy getting his foreskin yanked on by a chain and pulley system.
I wonder if that's it. I actually never considered it, but now I need to push through and watch Parasite, so I don't have to think about that guy anymore.
Before somebody pulls on your testicles.
Yeah, nobody wants that. Hey, that's going to do it for today's show. I'd like to thank a few patrons for supporting the show, though, as we narrow down the month and year here. Big thanks goes out to Cy Rohan Humphrey. Awesome name, first of all. He's at the grade A level. Sean at the grade A level. And, of course, John Norris at the grade A plus level. Thank you all for your support at patreon.com/TMS. Without you, we don't have a show. So thank you guys very much. And consider joining if you guys haven't. That's at patreon.com/TMS. Again, tomorrow, 8 a.m., 1 hour. Weird, compressed, new, different format tomorrow. Okay?
That's
just
right.
one day only. We'll be back Thursday with a normal one. But that's the plan tomorrow. So be here or be square. That's it. Brian, you got anything else? You good?
I got nothing else.
Okay, you probably
really
have a song.
Really excited about all of our recommendals tomorrow. It's going to be a fun episode.
Oh, well, I'm excited about that as well.
Yeah.
Well, leave us with a song, will you?
I'll leave you with a song. Okay. Stephanie in our chat room goes by Stephanie in a bit because it's a palindrome, right? It's same forward and backward.
Sure.
She says, hello, Strawberry Pop-Tart and Blowtorch. It's Stephanie in a bits. And this message is from my amazing husband, Kylie K. See, because it's also reversed, Kylie K.
Oh, I see.
December 27th, yesterday was his birthday, and as per tradition, I'm requesting a song for a special day. It's always so hard to come up with something sappy and sweet for these requests because I feel like there's always so much to say. Kyle has been in my life since we were teenagers, and I can still remember the first birthday party of his that I attended in 2008. Remember Dylan's blue pants? That'll never be unseen.
Oh.
And for the folks at home, it's because they were blue.
Oh, I get it.
I've had so many fun memories with Kyle, and we have countless inside jokes, like Starbucks, but it wasn't really Starbucks, when we saw Jaws in an open field, running through sprinklers on a cold October night, and never forget, we quite literally stared into each other's eyes for over 8 hours. I'm not kidding.
Oh my gosh! What was the end point? What was the end game there? What was that for?
I don't know. Who lost that staring contest? She says, this song is for you. I'm hoping the cover master will find a cover of the iconic song 555 by Jimmy Eat World. I didn't. If that doesn't work, then any cover except the middle. My God, not the middle by Jimmy Eat World will do. Love you so much, Kyle. And here's to another year older, even though you still look the same as you did when we first met. Not fair. Your love, Stephanie.
Happy birthday to you.
And a happy new year.
There you go. Oh, that's perfect because we're getting a new year. That's good.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Well timed.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, I could not find a cover of 555. Nobody covers that song. If you look on secondhandsongs.com, nobody covers that song. And I avoided the middle, even though 95% of the covers of Jimmy Eat World in my library are covers of the middle.
Yeah,
So
that's their
let's
big
play
hit.
Sweetness, because that's a nice song. It's a sweet cover. This is the Tokyo Police Club from their album 10 by 10 by 10 in 2011. In that year, they covered 10 songs by 10 different artists and released it as a great album. This is Sweetness featuring Michael. What's the full name?
McDonald.
Angelakos. Michael Angelakos of Passion Pit on vocals. Here is Sweetness by Tokyo Police Club.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Was I bad?
Yes.
Were you bad?
You were bad. Yes. Very bad.
Yes, Stephanie and Kyle. Sorry I didn't get to this yesterday. Sorry.
Oh, this is the one you guys talked about yesterday. Got it.
Yes.
I now remember you talking about that.
Yes.
Alrighty. Let's
I also don't have any more